everybody. Welcome to the Stock Car Spectacle. I'm Ian Jortson.
I'm Nick Kinzel.
I'm Tom Hopland.
And we are talking Homestead this weekend. It is the cutoff race weekend for the Truck Series. Going to be an exciting one for sure. And we also got the Xfinity Series and the Cup Series with 2 races remaining in their playoffs as well. So guys, we're going to talk trucks here first. We got the Baptist Health 200. This race will take place Saturday at noon Eastern, 201 miles, 134 laps. Stages 1 and 2 are 40 laps each, and the final will be 54 laps. Last year's winner was Ty Majeski. Most team wins here is Kyle Busch Motorsports with 5, and most manufacturer wins is Toyota with 12. So they know how to get it done here at Homestead. Marco Andretti will be in the 7 truck for Spire Motorsports for your notables here in this one. So boys, we're talking trucks at Homestead. This is a cutoff race. We're going to talk who are your 4 drivers that will make it in and who is your winner this weekend. Nick, start off with you, bud.
All right, start off with me. All right, so my 4 is going to be Corey Heim. It's going to be Carson Hocevar. It's going to be Christian Eckes, and this guy's about to win his way into the championship 4. I'm throwing a wild card Hail Mary here. Give me Ben Rhodes in the 99. He will make the championship 4 by winning this race on Saturday. Ben Rhodes, he's just a driver of consistency. He's good for about 1 to 2 wins every year. And he is not the defendant. He has won Truck Series championship back in 2021. And so, I'm going for it. And I think driver 99 is going to get back in there by winning this thing on Saturday.
All right. Not a bad pick at all. Great picks for your final 4. Tom, who you got this weekend for trucks?
All right. Well, we know Corey Heim's in. He's got the win, right? Mm-hmm. Then my pick to win the race will lock himself in at Christian Eckes, who's already above the cut line. But Christian Eckes is going to win this race. Just feels right for him. So then Carson Hocevar, he's plus 23. He really just has to go out there and survive the day. I think he's a shoe-in. But again, Nick Sanchez plus 3, Grant Enfinger minus 3, Ben Rhodes minus 5. It's going to be fun to watch those guys battle it out. To get that last spot, I think Grant Enfinger, he's going to use his veteran old man knowledge and get GMS Racing one chance to win a championship before they ultimately fold. So I think Grant Enfinger pulls out the 4th spot.
All right, not bad, not bad. I got to go with Corey Heim. He's already locked in to the championship 4, so got none to lose. He's going to go full throttle this one, and we know Toyota is just so damn good here at Homestead. Like I said, they got 12 wins here, so he's going to add on to that and make it 13, that's for sure. So Corey Heim to victory lane.
All right. Who are your 4?
My 4 that will be in, Corey Heim's already locked in. Carson Hocevar. Christian Eckes, he's just been lights out in the playoffs here as well. He'll definitely make it in. And I don't know. I think Nick Sanchez, I think he's going to have some trouble from a guy named Matt Crafton. I don't think he's going to make it in here. And I think Mr. Grant Enfinger is going to take over that last spot for the final 4 and hopefully try and get GMS Racing a championship before they go out.
I remember a conversation we were having at the beginning of the truck playoffs. All those months, it felt like ages ago because it was. Mm-hmm. But we're like, these aren't going to be really exciting. It's going to be these 4 guys in, and there's not going to be much to talk about. Nobody's really impressive. And the guy leading the charge there was Zane Smith, and I know this none of the 3 of us picked him. He's 36 points out. He hasn't been showing speed. His car broke at the last race. It's been a wild downfall for Front Row Motorsports and Zane Smith, and he's definitely in a must-win situation. I think he'll try his best, but I don't think Front Row Motorsports has it for him.
I don't think they have the truck. I just don't think they have the fight. I haven't seen the fight from them. He's just having a championship hangover season, sort of looking like. He came out of the gates pretty strong, but really ever since like May or June started to hit, he he never regrouped. They haven't gotten it
Yeah.
together yet, and it's just crazy that we're talking about it because I think he was probably my pick to win the Truck Series championship when this all got underway. But now here we are, and he's in a must win, and I don't see it. I really don't see it, barring something crazy happening. That's a Truck Series. It always could. But yeah, I haven't seen it from them, so I just pack it up.
I think though, if you are a playoff driver on the bubble or near the bubble, you have to stop Ty Majeski from winning this race. You don't want him to be able to show up at Phoenix with how he ran at IRP and Richmond. And granted, he allegedly may have been cheating at those races to get such good runs, but you don't want to chance it. You don't want to give somebody that strong at that type of racetrack a chance to go out and beat you. Like we said, Majeski won last year, so it's not out of the question that he could pull something together. I always remember ThorSport running really well at Homestead as well. So there's a chance that any of those ThorSport Fords could get up there and win. But if you're on the bubble, you definitely don't want to see Ty Majeski take your spot away and maybe have a very good chance to be the favorite in Phoenix.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, let's talk Xfinity. We got the Contender Boats 300 300-mile race, 167 laps. Stages 1 and 2 will be 40 laps each, and the final will be 87. Last year's winner was Noah Gragson in the 9 car. Most team wins is Joe Gibbs Racing with 5, and most manufacturer wins is Chevrolet with 13 wins. Derek Kraus will be in the 11 for Colleague. Dale Jr. will be in the 88 for JRM. Ryan Newman will be in the MBM machine. So, guys, we got a loaded lineup today. Bunch of
Natalie Decker.
Yeah, Natalie Decker too, guys.
SS
Make sure to
Greenlight.
put some money on Natalie. But gonna be a pretty fun race, especially with seeing Dale Jr. back in the car once again. Hopefully his car doesn't catch on fire. Ryan Newman back in a car, back in the Xfinity series. So should be pretty fun race. So Tom, we'll start off with you. Who you got going to Victory Lane on Saturday for the Xfinity series?
I've got the 20 of John Hunter Nemechek. It's hard to I love Xfinity racing at Homestead. It's such a good race. They put on such a good show. I'm even brought back to memories when you said Noah Gragson won this last year. I'm thinking it was the year before where he just absolutely destroyed the rear end of a lapper while
David
he was
Starr,
in the lead
baby.
David Starr.
in that Whataburger car, and that was just such a funny thing to me. But this race is it's so good. They're going to put on a good show. I think it's kind of like we were talking in our Vegas recap episode. Even in the Xfinity series, it's time for the cream to rise to the top, and you want to show you want to be there in Phoenix, better win. And I think John Hunter Nemechek can pull it off this week.
All right, solid pick. Nick, who you gonna go with, buddy?
So I'm going with a guy out of Stewart Haas Racing Camp. They went to Victory Lane last week with dominant fashion with Riley Herbst getting his first career win. But now I think it's a 00 turn. I think it's Cole Custer time. Cole Custer, he is really it's been the beginning of the year wasn't what we thought it was going to be. I don't think anybody saw him getting that slow of a start out of the gate, but he's just gradually gotten better and better, and really he's turned it on. So, and this is a very good track for Cole.
That's where he got his first Xfinity series win.
This is where he got that win. So this is a very good racetrack for him, and yeah, I think Cole Custer is going to be the first one to lock himself in to Phoenix here on Saturday. Give SHR back-to-back wins.
Solid pick, buddy. But I gotta go for redemption Bristol weekend. I picked Dale Jr. to win that race, and he was oh so close before his car caught on fire. I gotta go with the old 88 car again. Gonna rip it at Homestead. He said that's his favorite track. That's why he's got it on his schedule this year. Let's go Junior in the Mayo car.
I think it's too different of a racetrack. It's Bristol's easier to overcome maybe a lack of speed or a regression of
there ain't no lack of speed
skill.
There, baby. That's Dale Earnhart Jr.
I'm saying in the vehicle, in the car. I know it's JRM and whatnot, but I feel like just the regression with his age and whatnot. He's not doing this every week. So Bristol, it's a little easier to kind of bring all those closer together. But at a place like Homestead, you got to be on it. And I don't know. I don't see Junior being on it, but that's okay because I said the same thing about Bristol.
Yeah, you said the same thing, man.
Yeah,
I
for
just
sure.
wonder, Dale. I wonder what Dale's mindset going into this race is because we're in the midst of a playoff battle now, and he's got his drivers in there. Is he
Mhm.
going to want to be up there slicing and dicing it up there? I'm sure he is. He's a racer.
Oh yeah.
Every it's a racer mentality to be up there. But I know Junior, and he's going to have respect for these playoff drivers, and he's not going to do anything crazy.
Yeah, but picture this: if Junior finishes first and Sam Mayer finishes second in this race, and then Sam Mayer ultimately finishes outside of Phoenix, like he doesn't do well at Martinsville,
Right.
like what does that look like? Because then Sam Mayer's out of the playoffs.
Van Mayer
So-
should have been faster than that other car, man.
So yeah, no, it's just
can't-
it's tough, and he's got to take the ownership standpoint in there. Yeah, of course he's going to want to go out and win, but you just wonder how that's all going to play out.
Hey, it builds
especially
character for those
up there.
drivers, man.
Yeah, I just knowing Junior, he's not going to be too keen on knocking his own guy out of the playoffs. Probably
Yeah.
his sister wouldn't like all that much either because they probably lose money as a company.
Yeah, well, I think Dale Jr. could take that loss for a trip to victory lane. I don't think he'd be too upset.
There's a lot more to this dynamic than meets the eye initially. But no, the speaking of points, the Xfinity points are very spread out right now.
Mm-hmm.
John Hunter's 47 ahead, Allgaier's 21, Austin Hill's 19, and then Cole Custer's 15 ahead of the cut line. So there's a big gap. There's a lot of ground to make up for those guys below. Down Chandler Smith, obviously 15 behind, Sam Mayer 16 behind, and then Sammy Smith 35 behind, and Sheldon Creed 41.
Yeah.
With Sheldon Creed's news, it's weird. Still weird about that announcement. He's in this playoff battle, and he's announcing he's not going to come back. I'd say Sammy Smith and Sheldon Creed are in must wins.
Oh, for sure.
I'd rather get that win now. Who knows what Sammy Smith can do and show up here at Homestead? He might be a sleeper pick, to be quite honest.
And if we get,
He won Phoenix earlier this year.
he won
Right.
Phoenix earlier this year, so that could be
Right.
dangerous right there.
So you know he'd be very upset if he didn't even get the chance to go try to defend that race win.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I think Chandler Smith and Sam Mayer have a chance to just work and gain as many points as they can this week and kind of reset at Martinsville. So it'll be, again, fascinating late season dynamic just between 8 drivers. Oh, and then you got 30 other drivers out there also trying to race.
All right, you got to look out for those guys too. All right, guys, so let's talk the Cup Series race. My favorite race of the year, Forever 400. That is my favorite sponsor. That's so damn cool that they're doing that for Kevin Harvick, naming a race after him. Going to be 400 miles, 267 laps. Stages 1 and 2 will be 80 laps each, and the final will be 107. Last year's winner was Kyle Larson. Finally got it done at Homestead. They've been saying for years he's one of the best, but he never got it done there. Finally got it done at Homestead. So we'll see if he can do it again this weekend. He's got a lot of momentum after that Las Vegas win. Most team wins, here's Joe Gibbs Racing. They got 8. Most manufacturer wins is Ford with 8 wins. So boys, I'm gonna go first with my pick. I'm gonna take the driver that you all said has no business being in the championship for in our last show. I'm taking Martin Truex Jr. He is just lights out at Homestead. He's got 1 win when he got that championship, 7 top 5s, 12 top 10s. He's got an average finish of 9.7. I'd say he's pretty damn good at this track. Him and James Small need to start building up momentum, and this is the perfect track to do it. Get a win here, and then get ready for Phoenix. I think they can get it done this weekend.
Oh man, I can't see them recovering with how close all these playoff tracks. He's going to need some help from some other guys.
I just think it's going to be
issues.
Truex in the track, man. Truex in the track. It just goes
Truex in the
so well
track.
together.
I mean,
yeah.
when Truex wins, he does win in dominant fashion, and this is a track that lends itself to dominant wins.
Mm-hmm.
Again, everybody's been saying it. I still think the other shoes got to drop at some point with how well and how consistent they were in the regular season. But as we get down to crunch time, it's like, is he feeling that pressure? Is he feeling that pressure, and is it hindering him? And it's just we'll keep watching. It's an interesting pick for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
I
going
did it
for it with
last
this
week.
one.
I did it last week.
Yeah.
So,
All right, Tom, who are you going to take for Cup?
I think it's a Hendrick sort of day. And I don't think it's the 9 car. I don't think it's the 5 car. I really think they're going to focus on Phoenix. The 48 car doesn't exist, and that leaves the 24 car. So I think William Byron, he's won here before. He knows how to get it done. He's got something to race for. The points are really tight, really tight. So you want to get that sure thing in. I think William Byron can get it done.
That's a solid pick. Best driver of the year so far. So why not win at Homestead, lock himself in the Phoenix?
It may be low hanging fruit, but I got to keep
Hey.
it real. I truly believe he could win anybody should believe that he can win this. He can win this race, but I think he's going to, for sure. I truly believe that.
Yeah. All right, Nico, who you got on Sunday?
All right, so when we go to Homestead, we always talk about ripping the top, and everyone's all about Kyle Larson. Well, I'm going with the guy who's just as good as Kyle Larson at ripping the wall. I'm going with the 45 car of Tyler Reddick. He is going to win this race on Sunday, and he is going to give 2311 their first ever championship for birth as an organization. This track is just been so good to Tyler Reddick. I just think back to that phenomenal battle that Cole Custer, and Christopher Bell put on for that Xfinity Series championship a couple years ago. It was just the 3 of them trading back and forth, and it's a phenomenal race, and Reddick got it done. And this is a really good track for him. And 2311, they've been solid on the 1.5-mile tracks, and this is a track that fits Tyler well. So I think Tyler Reddick, he's going to be one of those sleeper picks going into Phoenix. He's going to get it done on Sunday.
Yeah, I can agree. I'd say that any of these top 6 drivers in the playoffs have a very solid chance of winning this race. Kyle Larson, William Byron, Martin Truex, maybe the least solid of the solid picks, but he can still get it done because he's got it done here before with higher stakes. Denny can win here. Christopher Bell can win here. And like I said, Tyler Reddick, again, those 2 Xfinity championships in a row with different teams is just really damn impressive.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think and with everything being so tight, you got to be on it just in general at this racetrack. And a Tyler Reddick win would definitely shake up the playoffs.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, that would be huge.
I don't see Ryan Blaney or Chris Buescher making noise this weekend. Unfortunately,
these just aren't their tracks. They're not. These just are not great tracks for him. And Chris Buescher, what was it, 2020 or 2021, where he just randomly decided to go lead like 67 laps at Homestead and win a stage, and then he just dropped.
Yeah. Everybody adjusted. They found their stuff, and they couldn't keep up with that. But again, RFK Racing has surprised us before this year, so who knows? I wouldn't sleep on it. Like, any of these guys can win a race, but I just don't see those 2 guys winning this race.
Right.
Yeah, well, as we've seen with this season, really anything's possible. This has been a wild season. So yeah, we could see a Chris Buescher Homestead win, get himself in the Final 4, or Ryan Blaney. I mean, who knows, guys? We still got 2 races left. There's a lot that can happen. We can have some of these top playoff drivers have issues, and we've seen it in the past. But all we know is Kyle Larson's locked in, so he's safe. So we just got to look for 3 more drivers who we think is going to be claiming that championship. So, boys, before we end the show here, you got anything else to add?
This is the exciting one. This is the exciting one. Yeah, we got Martinsville next week as your cutoff going into Phoenix, but this is the exciting one for me because we know how Martinsville is raced with the short track package and everything. There's still a lot on the line going into that race next week, but I don't see that one being as exciting as the race we're about to see here on Sunday at Homestead. Again, this is probably my favorite 1.5-mile track. This or Las Vegas, I think, needs to be the championship track They just put on phenomenal events, and we're gonna see another good one on Sunday.
Yes, sir.
If they ever, for whatever reason, they would be so smart to do such a thing and make the final round more than one race, I think the mix of Phoenix and Las Vegas and Homestead would be a fantastic way to finish out the season, just from a points battle and whatnot. I mean, we see how close the points are and whatnot, but I agree, Nick. This is going to be better than the Martinsville race. And we're going to see all these guys go out here and battle, and it's going to stay close with these top 6, top 8 drivers. And we're going to get a good picture of what our championship 4 is going to look like, because who knows what'll happen and what kind of shenanigans will happen at Martinsville. But this is just going to be another solid weekend of racing. I mean, the trucks with their aero games that they play at Homestead, and then Xfinity races so well here as well. And that car has been here for 15, 16 years now, like that chassis that they have. Mm-hmm. And then again, just the skill of these guys, who's in the Cup Series, who's gonna find it right, who's gonna hit their setups, who's gonna push it and get over the edge. Are we gonna see tire issues again with these low sidewalls and then pushing the pressures? So yeah, it's gonna be another dynamic class. If you've been watching NASCAR for years, you're gonna like this. I don't know if you're gonna like this race if you're a new fan.
Yeah.
But
we shall see. It should be a fun weekend for the NASCAR playoffs. Truck Series capping off their round of 8, and we'll be deciding who will be the 4 drivers to go into the championship. So guys, that'll do it for us. Make sure to comment down below who you think is going to win this weekend and who's going to point their way into a championship berth. And make sure to like our video and subscribe to our channel. You can also check us out on Twitter and Instagram as well. So for the Stock Car Spectacle, I'm Ian Jortson.
I'm Nick Kinzel.
I'm Tom Hovland.
And we'll see you guys next time.